All right, welcome back. So in this lesson, we're going to take YelpCamp and get it deployed using Heroku. And YelpCamp is pretty different from the simple application that we deployed in that it has a database, uses MongoDB. Otherwise, it's actually the exact same process. We still need to create the app using Heroku Create. We need to use git and add, git commit, and then push to Heroku. The only difference is that we have to figure out how to get our database to run as well on Heroku because Mongo is running locally on this Cloud9 instance. Remember, I have my Mongod process running here, and I'm connecting to this when I use Mongoose. So we're going to have to get around that, and I'll show you how to do that. Before that, we're going to start by just getting the app on there. And it won't work right away. We'll see an error. It will say something about Mongoose or connecting to the database. There's an error, connection refused, something like that. But we're going to get it on Heroku first, following the exact same steps. So if you are following along, I made another version, V11 deployed, which is just where this version of the app that I'm deploying will go. One thing to note is that I will continue to add new features to YelpCamp. So this is not the final version by any means. I just wanted to get this deploying process out of the way so that everyone could see it. I got quite a few questions and curious students asking, when are you going to add this section? So I decided to do this first, even though the app isn't necessarily or not even really close to being done yet. So we will be deploying continually as we move forward with new content and new features in YelpCamp. Okay, so first thing, let's do git status. Well, actually, even before that, let's just make sure the app runs. Node app.js. Visit the page here. Looks good. Things are working. That's all we need to see for now. So our goal is to get this on Heroku. So we'll stop that. Make sure we are in the correct directory. YelpCamp V11 deployed. You can be in any YelpCamp directory. You likely only have one YelpCamp, but make sure that we're in a Git repository. So we'll do git init. Make sure we add all of this stuff. So for now, we'll just do a git add dot git commit. Let's just say initial deploy commit. Great. Now we need to go and do Heroku create, and you may need to, and I may need to do Heroku login as well, depending on if it logged me out or not. Nope. So it worked just fine, even though I had quit my browser. So Heroku create made us this new space, sheltered stream 58457. Of course, yours will be different. That's the point. These are all unique, but hopefully you'll have something as calming and peaceful as sheltered stream. So we have that done, Heroku create. Now all we have to do, remember, is push our code up to Heroku. Git push Heroku master. One thing to remember is that we need to make sure our package.json has that start script. Start. And at the beginning, we just want it to run node app.js. So we'll save that. Let's also make sure all of our dependencies are here. Body parser, EJS, express session, method override, mongoose, passport local, mongoose. If we're missing one, it's not the end of the world. We can come back and add it and then push again to Heroku, but it's much better to just not have to do that. All right, so we do need to add that one change, git add package.json, git commit. We'll just say add start script. Great. Now the magic part, git push Heroku master. This is, again, going to take a little bit. What happens, though, it takes this code, pushes it to Heroku, but that's not it. It actually runs the code on Heroku. So it starts by doing an npm install, installing all of these packages. The next thing that it does is run that start script. So it's going to run node app.js, and then hopefully it's deployed running here. However, I do know that there's a problem, which is that we haven't handled the Mongo database. But if we do take a look, let's open that. we just get that handy application error that is masking any issues. So we obviously can't tell exactly what's wrong. Remember, the way to do that is to run Heroku logs. It's important to note that we have multiple Heroku apps on this Cloud9 instance, where we had the original one and the simple home and about page application, if you want to call it an application really, and then YelpCamp here. So depending on what directory I'm in, if I'm in YelpCamp in this directory, when I run Heroku logs, it's going to give me the logs for this app. Same thing if I'm in the simple deploy demo app, then it's going to give me Heroku logs for that app. So I just want to make it clear, it's not like you run Heroku once for your entire computer or for your entire system. It depends on the directory you're in, just like when you run git status, it depends on which repository you're in. So here's what we see. Scroll up. Here we go. It looks like it ran node app.js, and it got to this MongoDB, Mongo connection refused. So some of you have actually seen this. A lot of you posted this in the comments. This happens when you're not running the Mongo process or Mongod process in the background. So basically, this is the way that Node tells you that it's failed to connect to our database. So that's obviously a problem. It's not connecting to the database. Before I show you how to fix that, I do want to show one kind of cool thing, which is that we can actually run commands, terminal commands like ls, or create files with touch, or remove things, or run npm install remotely on the Heroku space, on our workspace on Heroku from this command line. So let's say I just wanted to do ls, see what files are on this Heroku space that we created. The container is what they call it. If I do Heroku run and then the command, so Heroku run ls is going to actually connect to the Heroku server and run the command ls, get the output, and bring it back to me here. You can see running ls attached to terminal. There we go. So this is all that we have on Heroku. So I could look at node modules, for instance. Let's say something wasn't working. And I got an error saying that Mongoose wasn't installed. Well, I could verify Heroku run ls node modules to see what node modules are installed. And it will take a moment because it is doing this remotely. There we go, and we can see, all right, so these are all the node modules installed. Mongoose is here, but if it wasn't here, then we would know, okay, we need to make sure we have it installed on this Heroku machine. And what we could do is also something like Heroku run npm install mongoose -- save. We don't need to do that, but let's say that somehow it didn't get installed, we didn't have it in the package.json. You can run code on that using Heroku run.